Yeah, go to file and then just do the, you no, go into your collab. Remember the one we did over here? Instead, just copy and then go into collab uh, and then paste it in there. Make sure it overrides this one. And then you go into file and then you check into GitHub. Okay. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Dorothy, how are you? I can't hear you. You're on mute. Can you hear me? Dorothy. Dorothy, I can't hear you. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, one second. Can you hear me now? Dorothy. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. You insist, huh? You really do. Jackie.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dorothy. Hold on, Jackie.
Yeah, I'll be home in like 3 minutes. I'm just coming from the hospital, so.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you, do you want to push it maybe to another day so you can compensate?
No, I don't want to miss. I know I missed the other day. I'm just home, but
Okay.
I'll be home in like
Okay,
3
that's fine.
minutes,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So
Okay.
if you give me like 5 minutes, I'll go start up my computer and then just join the meeting.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Commitment. She needed to work on something.
Okay.
Now the email you sent it to me on must have been
Last night.
email or what? Yeah, immediately when I came back.
So I can share my screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen here. So let me.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I still have it here if you want me to share my screen.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and share your screen.
Let's see.
Yeah. See it. Okay, nice.
See it?
Yeah. Scroll up.
So it starts here. I think the rest was just a lot of errors.
Okay.
So it starts here, right here,
Yeah.
to down there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Looks good. You're on the right track. Yeah, you're on the right track. Let me see here. The error you're getting so far the program is running here, and the goals. I
Yeah,
think
this is
Mhm.
the one here had not defined goals, so I kind of figured out. So from 15 here,
Yeah,
that's when I kind of figured out how to go about it.
yeah, I like the way you did that. Then you got the goals, so that's good. Did you do the second one too, or you want us to do that together?
No, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we
We
can do
could
it
do that
together.
together. I was gonna say I didn't attempt it. I'm like, it was late in the night. I was gonna sleep.
Okay, no problem. Let's go ahead and do it together so that Esther, you gonna walk us through that?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
remember the-
stop sharing.
Okay, cool.
I am
Okay, I'm
not
gonna
sure
stop
what the
sharing.
question.
Mm.
I hope I know the question.
Say again, Esther.
I'm not sure what the question was.
Oh, I thought you were in the group. Let me send it to you.
You added me a bit later.
Can you see whenever we post on GitHub? I mean on WhatsApp.
Yeah, but you added me like just
Yeah, I
was
added
it
you
before?
probably before that, so I'm gonna go ahead and repost. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. I'm recording, so we'll share with Irene.
Oh, yeah, I have seen this somewhere.
Okay.
So like I should do it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, please. So you show us what you can come up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me open my ID. I was not prepared.
Or you do it on Colab if you want.
I have a Jupyter notebook open here.
Okay, cool.
I can use this one.
Okay. So when you read that, Dorothy, what do you think about the code? Is it something standard, or is it? I know you've been busy, and
And the second assignment or the
Yeah.
first one?
the first one you got it. The second one is probably built on the first one.
The second one is okay. It's just that I didn't have time. I was kind of
Mhm.
you know, as I said, coming from the hospital tired. We went to the hospital. We were there by 5:30 in the morning. So I woke up like 4
Wow.
yesterday. You know, she had to be there by 5:30 to get ready for the surgery.
Wow.
All day I was in and out the hospital. And then
Yeah.
I left at night,
Wow.
come home,
So you just here by
check on the
yourself, like
kid.
any brothers, sisters, like that's gonna be tough.
No, I don't. My siblings are not here. My cousin lives far away, like 2 hours drive. I'm here
Oh,
with my dad, but my dad was watching the kids, you know.
yes.
And again, with this COVID era, they don't allow a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially in the ICU. They just need one person.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
and my dad, I mean, they don't drive, so it beats logic for me to take him. I mean, it's gonna be two, and they only want one person. If he would drive, and then the kids too, you know, they can't be left by themselves.
Yeah.
So, welcome to America.
Yeah, that's but I mean the beauty is the quality of service you get. I mean, just look at the road. I mean, the services, everything is just great. If you're in Kenya, my brother,
Yeah.
the child got sick, and they were telling him upfront to pay 100,000. I say, like, man,
I
why
think
can't
she's doing the first assignment. We got that done. Is it doing is she doing the first one or the
This
second?
one, second,
Are you doing the second one or the first one?
doing the one that has like
The one I
country.
sent?
Oh, okay, that's the second one.
Yeah. I just
Or
sent.
should I use different variable names?
No, I mean, variable
No,
name has
you
the
just
choice.
do you.
Yeah,
Do you, you know.
Okay.
that's gonna be the choice.
Personally, like if I was to do it, I would say um let's just do this. Print like can just say print. Sometimes it's good like if
Mhm.
program is interactive
So you
something.
form them what to do, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can like ask a question.
Mhm.
Then so what they're going to answer, the first question is the names. So
Yeah.
it will be put inside an input function. The inputs brackets.
Did you have to define the names?
No, actually,
Mm.
you didn't have to. My typing. Inputs. Names. Am I so confused? Some updates confused about something. Just a minute.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, we can. So let me see this. What name? Yep, I just you. My spelling. why isn't this working? If I do this, I was just trying this out and
Let me
seeing
check.
it's going on.
1 second. So you did input, then the name is blank. Okay, you tell it,
I should define it at the top.
yeah. Normally use the input statement, right?
Yeah, but like when I used it, it was saying names is not defined.
Mhm.
So
So right now, if you don't want to print it yet, right? You're gonna print them all at the same time at the bottom. So here, go ahead and put your name and then press enter. It's gonna print it.
yeah, I wanted to try if that works. I just
Mhm.
yeah, so that was what I thought. Like you can do that because
So you can do that, right?
yeah,
Okay. So instead, you just comment out the print and then do the next one. And then you can do the concat for first and last name.
yeah.
I like the approach you gave it.
You can like declare all the variables first.
And
I
then,
don't know.
yeah, you print them all at one time.
I was just trying it out. I didn't know if that is
Huh?
actually work.
You just tried, right?
I was
See,
just
you
trying it.
came up with a big discovery, Esther. You need to put in the Guinness Book of record now. Mhm. Okay. Is that going to be a comment or okay? Go ahead. I will not even ask any question. And then you can use one. You can use one line for like more than like 1, 2 different variables.
More than one. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I couldn't write stuff that I sent to. So names is equal. So like I believe you can just put this and declare variables.
Yeah.
Then now the names is what is going to be
Okay.
like.
Can you
I
run
think
that?
I should first of all declare all the variables first.
Okay.
I should run this first.
Can you run
Let
that?
me. I
Yeah.
think
And
it's not
comment.
gonna run because I haven't read.
And okay. And comment the print. And then try run it.
I haven't like declared. I haven't written the first name and last name.
It's okay. Good.
I haven't. Let me
Take
let
your
me
time.
first
Do
get
do
onto the first.
what you want.
Oh,
Single T.
So I declared the first name and last name variables
Mhm.
and then put them in the variable
Okay.
names.
Yeah.
Then these names I concatenated the first name and last name. So like the program will ask you
Mhm.
to enter the first name, enter your last name, but it's going to output them together
Okay.
as one name. So if I run it, enter the first name. My first name is Esther. And then enter my last name is Umboi. Sorry. Why isn't it
Okay.
printing out names?
So if you look on your print statement, did you concat
Mhm.
them? If you concat them, then you save it in one variable like you did in names. So the concat,
Mhm.
you see the second line? That second line
Yes.
should be actually next just before the last print. Copy that.
Oh,
Copy that. Okay.
mhm.
Then bring it next to the last line up. Okay.
Here.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now run it. You remember the sequence, right? You have to input it first before you try to concat. Okay. Now run it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Why isn't it?
Okay. So hold on. The concat you have, right? Can you
Mhm.
hear me? Okay, the concat you have is not correct. So before the name, put another plus sign. Up another next to the one you already have, put another plus sign. You see the plus sign? Put another one.
Here.
Yeah, put another one. Okay, now between those plus signs, put two
Oh,
quotes.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now run it. Mhm.
Yeah, I remember there was a code of mine that wasn't running. I've now seen what I was
I
doing.
guess you're killing me now. Okay, how come it's not printing?
Yeah. Weird.
I'm doing something here too.
Okay,
I can,
You can share.
whenever you're ready.
okay.
Hold on just a moment. Let me see if this one's gonna run. Hold on. Okay, let me share. Make this bigger. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
So I declared first name, last name, and then name equals to first name plus last name, and then my profession, country. But it's on printing line by line. Can I print like all together? Like now I can ask print, print, country. country, and then I'm gonna say there, and then country.
Mhm.
And then if I run this line,
Yeah.
I should have put here, and then run it, and it's gonna give me there.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know how to make it in that format. It's just printing line by line.
Okay, so what you can do, you see the code on line 2025. That code on line 25. Copy that, and then in the new line, put another variable. Let's say after, let's say country, put a city and that, and then do the same format. When you finish, and then when you run everything, it's going to appear as a block.
Oh, so I keep print, I do another print, but now it's going to be a print.
Another variable. Yeah, different variable.
Okay. Okay, copy. But this is going to be name.
Can do city there. Email address.
And do I keep going to another line or just do another print?
You can do the same block, can do several lines.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Address. And then, okay, so if I run, it should, hold on. Okay. All right, so it should run everything?
Whatever you have, those three, it will run for you. Actually, see that?
Okay.
Okay. So
I should put everything in one block. Is that what you mean?
You can put everything in one block, but remember, according to the instruction, the way you did your code, it's only restricted to Dorothy. So you'll have to use the input statement, but that's not immediate for now. Right now, you just want to make sure you just get your output correct, and then we go change the code up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I can do this. Enter your phone number. Like prompt.
Yeah.
But down there, you said print out the output in the following format.
Yeah. So following format will take from what you're doing right here.
Okay.
It does not have to
so
be bold.
Does it mean it's gonna print line by line, or because I can enter these statements like enter your email address.
Yeah.
And then I can do that. But these are, do you want me to make them statements, comments, or just
it's actually the way you want.
Statement.
It really doesn't matter so long as
just okay.
Yeah.
So
you
I
see
can
how you
comment
did this?
that.
This is looking good. The output here. Yeah. Yeah. So you just add additional, like let's say email address, do like phone number, everything, and then your code on line 21, we'll have to change them instead to have the input statement. But the print statement will remain the same so long as the input statement uses the same variables. Then you'll be able to get the same output.
Okay. All right, I can stop sharing here so that Esther can continue.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm wondering why isn't this? I'm just still trying to figure out why I'm not getting the concatenated output.
Okay, let's see what you're doing.
I've tried to put it in brackets. Should I remove this space? I don't know.
Okay, 1 second. Just 1 second. Let's see here. Country.
I haven't used country.
Okay. 1 second here. Input print.
Or do I just say
You
print?
probably want to do this, eh?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Every one of your input statement, like that one, put last name equals to input last name. First name equals to input.
Oh
first
yeah. Oh yeah.
name. Esther, you
Yeah.
need punishment now.
I'm sorry. I think I was not. My mind was.
So whatever you put in first name is gonna go into the variable first name. Whatever you put
Yeah.
in last name is gonna go into variable last name. Just make sure you get the spelling right. Last name.
You have the wrong spelling for last name.
Yeah. Thank you. In spelling. I've never been framed names. So okay. How I had, let me try and do this. I had declared empty variables.
So I'm not really sure why
I'm
you
still
want
going
to
to.
declare first name or last name empty variables, and then you come and put them in there again. So whatever you do,
Yeah.
it's gonna run, but it's gonna override first name and last
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you initializing them. Right.
Yeah,
In the
that's the
country.
reason why I forgot. I knew I was supposed to initialize a variable, but I forgot where to.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
So let me even remove this. So like the first part will
Yeah.
be,
So you run it.
so that it will print enter your first name.
Mhm.
So it will be put into this statement. Then enter your last name. Then they'll be put into this variable. Then it's gonna print this.
We haven't declared the first name though. You
We
have
have,
to declare it.
you have said first name equals to input. You see now,
So
you see
that
whatever.
input should be your first name,
So
right?
input, you see, input statement is, that means that your program is going to accept input. You see the way you wrote in your code, Dorothy, you had coded your name on the code.
Yeah, but you have go ahead and run that program and say it's not going to say Esther because I don't see any Esther there.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
because
ask,
it is
it's gonna
asking
ask for it.
enter your first name.
Oh, okay.
It's
Then
gonna
I
run.
write
Oh, it's like prompt.
yeah. That's the function of an input function.
Okay.
Then enter your last name.
Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
works.
So what you need to
I know
do?
now what I had.
Okay, Esther. You see those two quotes? Separate them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now try again. So it can be Esther Wambui separate, not one word.
Why has it done this?
Just
Because I wrote it
run,
once.
run it again. Run the code again. Okay. No, run the code. The code.
I'm running. Oh,
What did it change?
I haven't changed. I just put a space.
Okay, go ahead and stop the kernel. Stop the kernel. So just
I
restart.
stop or restart.
Restart. Restart. Sometimes happens like that. When that happens, you just restart.
Mhm. Yeah, this Jupyter does that for me a lot of times.
Yeah. Give it time.
See, it looks, uh, uh, First name is not defined.
Okay. Say again.
This it's on the error. This is first name is not
Okay,
defined.
go back up. Scroll up. Okay, first name.
Yes, we could.
Okay. Percentage. First name. Okay. Run it again. Why is it doing error now? If you did the first time run.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because we did enter your first name. Okay, that's okay. Input first name. Oh, first name, input first name, and first name is a variable.
Yeah, so basically, whatever you input is gonna go in there. So your input should be able to run, right? Hold on one second. Let me try here. Just 1 second. Let's try. Okay, print. Okay, enter.
It's not going to run because I wonder why it worked the first time because
Hmm?
this first name is not defined because I
That's
want
what
to
I
put
was saying
first
before.
name in first name.
Hmm. But why did it run the first time, Esther? Huh?
Magic.
Magic for you?
Yeah, I think if I just do it this way, it's gonna work.
It should be able to run, right?
No, it's not gonna. It's gonna like for example, you see this last name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying last name is a variable, and I want to input last name, and the variable is empty.
Okay, so what do you need to do instead?
I need to remove it.
Okay, so let's see what you do.
So if I enter first name, now what's last name is not defined.
Okay.
So why is it
Well, you missed out last name.
what?
It has 2 T's.
Oh,
Down there, enter your last name. You have 2 T's.
but this is just a print statement. But let me just correct it.
Oh, oh, okay.
Last name. Oh, it has not registered this. It didn't register the change. Let me run it again. Yeah, now it works. So the input should be blank. The input statement should be blank. So like can either put this statement inside here.
Yeah.
Inside the
UPI. The
this.
one you put in the print statement here. You can put it inside the input function.
So if I put it here,
It's going to be a prompt now. And close it in quotes. Okay. Get rid of the print. Get rid of the print.
yeah, I'm trying to see it. Yeah, but
The last bracket.
and do this. Sometimes I like to run code manually, like and then try and optimize it how it's look better once I've understood. So if we put all these variables inside if we put all these not print statements, like these statements,
Mhm.
see what's the difference it makes. So the only difference is that it's gonna be on the side.
Okay.
Can say first name is Dorothy. Then Dorothy, your last name is, and just
Check.
give my name.
Mhm. Put your name there, it's fine.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah, so you
do
got
this. So we can now put in all the variables we want. We want country,
yeah. Country.
Oh.
Mhm.
put it in the input. See, can't even remember, can't see the question. I'll just type stuff from at the top of my head.
Okay, the next one is gonna be like the nature of the job you do.
What's your country? I should type in faster. Patient. Put it in an input statement. They do. That's a question to ask. I'm given it. Something. Then after that, what control?
Address.
Try your address. Then was there any other?
Oh, you need some more?
Let me check. Oh, that was it.
Mhm.
Okay, so now
Still more.
if we want now after input all this, we are now going to print them
Hmm.
what is it called together. Like
So we have the name, country, profession, email, phone number, city, and then address.
oh, I haven't done all those, so we can say maybe names can say maybe I live in from. Does this make sense?
Hmm? You watching? You need help?
Okay. Um, so I just used a few. Yeah.
Okay.
So we run the program to last. So my first name, the last name, number, the country of origin, Kenya. Beautiful living. Student. Wait, there's one that I didn't add. Okay, okay, okay. My print statements won't make sense, but they'll do the they'll show the logic. So Istanbul, I live in oh I forgot to put a space. I live in Kenya. I'm a student from Nairobi.
So if you want to separate so that they don't print like all in one, like from Nairobi or a student, you can. So you be like if you go to the print statement, the last
Yeah,
quote, make sure you
yeah.
separate
I
last,
need to put a space.
yeah, space there.
Can I just do a space here?
Yeah, you just do a space there, and then another space, the next one, and another space in the next one. So before or after
So
after there's form, you just put before the space, you just
mhm.
put a colon in there, full colon.
Oh yeah, okay. And I had a question. What if I want to write this? Sorry, what if I wanted to write this as one line?
Hmm.
Can I remove the automatic line, or I should put all of this in one print statement?
Say one more time, please.
In case I want to, if I want them to be in one line, like
Hmm.
not separate lines, I should put all of them in one print statement, right? Mm.
Yeah, you can do in one print statement. Just make sure you declare the variables where you want to print. Okay. So
Like
In the, you probably want the colon after the word in, right? Mhm.
Oh, what can I do? So
Yeah.
can I do like, can I do this?
Yeah, you can do
Let me,
next there.
let me try and show you what I'm saying. Let me comment them first. No, let me just- Can I do that?
Yeah.
Like,
Can you try if it's running? Just do it there. Mhm.
no, I will type that out. Okay. Ignore my occupation answer. Yes.
So you can do
Why
that.
is it still?
Just test it out. Yeah.
But you see, it's still.
Hmm?
It cannot like um print them in one line. It has to enter. Like it has to
What do you
the
mean?
backslash n.
It did in one line, right? Is that correct?
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was looking at this. I so I leave.
So it's all
Yeah,
good.
I needed to use this. So I think this is okay. Can continue.
Mhm.
I think I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll just need to format this my output.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. So today we are going to go into decision, like selection. Okay. Selection, sequence declarations. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm gonna get started. So when we write lines of code, as you can tell, Esther, we do it in sequence. So Python programming language will always uh, interpret the lines line by line, line by line. So there are three ways we can control the order. Say we can write number one, number two, and then you tell it to skip number 3 and then go to number 10 and then come back and check on number 3 if the condition is correct. Okay. So the sequence is a step-by-step. You have to make sure before you even execute the line, you have to be clear. Python will always tell you it's not defined because you have to reserve that memory location by initializing, and then you say first name, we are going to go ahead and assign to variable names, for example. Second name, we are going to assign to, let's say, variable names 1. And then that's sequence. So this means that the compiler will run our code in order in a given sequence. One line after the other from top to bottom of the program instruction. It will start at line 1, go line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5 to the last line. Okay, that's the simplest we can do. So here on the screen, we have what we call flowchart. Now, flowchart is a diagrammatical representation on an image or an image of a program running. Say we have to start always with the word with the oval here, start, and then we go to the next one, which is going to be we declare the variables. Say we want to add number 1 to number 2, and then we get to number 3, but we always have to declare number 3 so that we can keep that number 3 variable, the results of those addition we just did up there. So in this case, we say we start, then we declare variables 1, 2, and then the sum. Then we say we read variable 1 and variable 2. And then variable 1, which is num1, variable 2, which is num2, we add them together. And then when we add them now, we keep them in the variable sum. And then we come here and basically we echo it out by displaying the memory location of that sum. Then we stop. That's the sequence of events. It's almost, if you want to cook, let's say you want to cook rice. You want to put everything in place before you even get started. Make sure you have the water, you have your sufuria, you have your jiko or your gas cooker. Make sure that. So all this is a way of preparing yourself to get started. When everything is in place, then you go step by step through your recipe. Okay, so that sequence of events, the same applies to programming. Alternatively, we can also sometimes say, if you were to do this, the recipe, there are some conditions which you will probably be able to skip, because if you don't have a certain item available, then you have to go to the next one so that you can be able to still achieve the same result. If you are cooking pilau rice and you just found out that you do not have some of the spices or the herbs you need, then you may want to decide to skip certain lines so that you achieve what you still want to achieve in record time. Sometimes you only want some lines of code to be run only if a condition is met. Otherwise, you want the computer to ignore these lines and then jump over to the next instruction. You can achieve this using a keyword known as the if. The if. Now we use the if statement. For example, if a condition is met, then lines 2, 3, and 4 are going to be executed. Otherwise, the computer will jump to line 5 without even looking at line 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Say, for example, you have a TV, a smart TV, which allows people to enter their age. Okay. Now we say if the child is below the age of 10, then the TV is going to exit. But if the child is at least 10 and above, then the TV will go ahead and execute line 2 and 3, and then it gets started. That's a condition. Okay. So In the pictorial presentation of the condition statement, we start from here. We come and then we look at the condition. If the condition is true, then we execute the next statement. Otherwise, we skip that and then we go straight and then we stop. So this could be a case whereby if the TV is allowing people of age 10 and above, then yes, it's going to go to the next condition and execute and open the TV so the TV can be watched by the person who wants to watch it. Otherwise, if the age is 10 and below, that condition will skip straight and then go and stop. Okay. Now, other than selection, which we just did here, other than sequence or selection, we also have the iteration. Iteration is the looping. There's cases whereby you need to do it like several times over. Say you are entering records of, let's say, 10 different people. Like you did Dorothy, you put name, put second name, put address, email address, phone number, and all that. You enter each time, it goes to the next one until the 10th person is entered. For it to happen like that, we need to introduce a loop into the program. So the loop will be able to help us go back to the next line item, again to the next line item until we are completely done. So sometimes you want the computer to execute the same lines of code several times based on the given instruction set. This is done using a loop. Sometimes the looping, we call it iteration. There are two types of loops in Python. We have the for loop, and then we have the while loop. Now, we will go into those loops into details. The loops are handy since they enable us not to have to copy the same code over and over and over. Okay? We just do one time, but we give you instruction to repeat several times. Okay? So a loop will be something like this. We have a test expression or condition here, and then we say if this is a selection whereby it's not true, that means it's false. We go ahead and execute the statement. So this could be like, hey, their age is not 10 and above, so that means it's false. Then we go ahead and shut down the TV. If their age is 10, let's say 11 and above, then it's true, then we execute this. We turn the TV on and then they can watch it. Okay? Now, every full-fledged programming language, okay, has to have these three conditions or these three constructs: the selection, the sequence, and the iteration, even in order for them to be considered a programming language. Qualified. Okay. Now, writing codes or writing lines of code is almost like writing a recipe to help in instructing how to prepare a dish. So, take your recipe to be the lines of code you're going to be coding. Okay. Now, below here we have like a Swahili recipe for making pilau rice, but we have to meet certain criteria to even be able to consider doing that rice cooking. So first of all, we have to gather the needed ingredients, okay, before we get started. So to cook pilau, we have to have 2 cups of rice, half kilogram of meat, 3 slices of onions. We have to have garlic paste, ginger, grounded masala, cumin, 8 pieces of cardamom, 3 pieces of cinnamon, oil, and salt. These are the ingredients. Okay, so we have the ingredients. We put them aside. We're ready to get started. And then we get started here. Now we say step one, we boil the meat until it's tender. Okay, and then of course we put that in a sufria, we heat the onions. Then we do the next one all the way until everything is followed step by step. When that's done, the pilau is going to be ready. And then you can serve it. You can serve it with whatever you want. Some people might not like pili. Some people might just like it in the kachumbari. But this is a condition you have to make. So if you're not into for this idea, then you can skip it. So you do a selection there, and then you just go ahead and complete, and then you enjoy the dish. Some people might like it. If it's true, then they go through that. They add what they need to add to the pili and all. They are done. Now, remember, we plan and do the same in programming, just like following a recipe. If, let's say we're talking of a code, okay, like this line of code. Say first and last name. Then this one probably not supposed to be there, but this one should be able to be first name, then your last name. Your origin, country's origin. And then you enter your nature of work. Okay. Then your address, your phone number, your residence. Okay. And then the mailing address. That is in sequence. There are cases whereby somebody here might not probably even have a phone number. So that means that's a condition you can skip. Somebody might just decide they don't want to put their email address. So you can put a condition. So this will be optional. Okay. And then at the end of it, we basically say, go ahead and print out everything so that we can have like a printed out label. The same here, it's like the rice recipe here. So we basically come and we can skip some items. And some of them we can actually go ahead and repeat. Now in the rice recipe here, when you're cooking, like between the cooking, for example, between these 2 minutes, you'll be coming back and open and to see if it's ready. You close it. Maybe you go back again, you come back and look. So for example, within the 10 minutes, you'll be looking to make sure it's correctly made. And if it's not, then you close. That's going to be your condition. Is it yes or no? Yes or no? Until when it's ready, then it's a yes. Then you turn off the stove and then you let it simmer. So while you wait to serve the food, that's going to be a loop condition. So if it's yes, then that means it's ready. Then you go to the next step. Otherwise, you repeat the same condition. Okay. So you come here. For example, we have here a selection statement of a program. Okay. So list your contact in sequence. It's just the same like the program we have. Okay. In Python, we go ahead and print, let's say, the name, Martin Luther King Jr. And then we give the address. And then we give the phone number. And then we give the gender. We print this one, it's going to be blank space, just for formatting purposes and to make it look nice. And then we go ahead and print the mailing address, the city and state. Then done. Okay. So that's a very simple sequence program. There are cases whereby if this one, for example, is not immediately available, then we can be able to just skip it. So it's going to say, and if the phone number is there, yes. enter. If it's not there, no, then skip it. The same might be with the email address. Okay? So a program is not a good program until a program can interact with the outside. So in this case, as you can tell, we just had coded it. And then we print it out. But a good program should be able to interact with the users. So we use an input statement, which is a function in Python. And then we output whatever we put in using a print function. Okay. So in some cases, a user input is needed. In other cases, an input came in the form of like a data set from a table, could be an Excel spreadsheet, could be a JSON file, or it could even be a computer log file or a CSV file. Now in Python programming, we use the input to accept user input. While in Python, like the 2.7 and below, we used to use raw input, okay, to accept user input. Now, as you can see, there are two different types of function we use depending on the version of Python we use. So this is an old one. So Python 3.0 and above will probably not accept it. But this is the latest one we use. Okay. So note that. Now below here is a typical example, okay, of how to input a program. So we come and say input the name, and then that variable here is we are going to go ahead and now say a greetings in Swahili. Say habari yako. And then we just use this one to concat here. We use a concat, which is a plus, to basically just echo it. Concat there. Alternatively, we can just go ahead and say input names, and then we go ahead and pass the function input into the name. The name, the way you are trying to do it, that estimate. And then you go ahead and just print it out. It's the same. All this will work the same way. But as you can tell, this is going to be an extra line, but this is going to be only 2 lines. But the choice is yours. So this is a good way of how to put input for now. Make sure you practice like this several times so you get familiar with it. Okay. So Python conditional programming or conditional statement. Okay. We use the if statement. Now, if statements in Python are for control flow statements, which means they help us to run a particular code only when a certain condition is satisfied. For example, we may want to print a receipt at the printer, okay, or at the cash register, only when a credit card transaction is successfully transmitted to the bank. Okay. When a condition is true, then we can use an if statement to accomplish this in programming. Or you want to allow a user to access your website content if they are only 18 and above. Okay. This is a conditional argument we have to use to allow that to happen. There are other control flow statements available in Python, such as if else. We have if else, and then we have nested if. The syntax of if statements in Python is pretty simple and straightforward. Okay. So we have the condition here. If the condition is true, then immediately this will be executed. The next code will be executed if this condition is true. Then this will be executed. Okay. In Python, the if statement example here, let's say we have We declare a variable, we call it a flag. We assign the word true to it. Now remember, true is a primitive data type, which means it's Boolean. So we say flag equals to true. Then we use that flag variable to help us determine what next. So we say if flag, compare, this is a comparison. Remember this double here, this is a comparison, but this single one here is an assignment statement. So we say assign the word true to flag, and then use that word flag here. We say if the flag, we compare, we say compare if the flag or the contents of that flag has the word true in it, then execute the print welcome, and then execute to the, and then execute largest Python class in Sub-Saharan Africa. If this was true. If it's not true, then this will not be executed. Okay. So in the above example, we are checking the value of the flag variable. If the value is true, then we execute the subsequent print statements. The important point to note here is that even if we do not compare the value of the flag, if we don't do this comparison, okay, or we do not put the flag in place of the condition, the code will just run fine. So the best way to write the same code above would be to do it like this. We set the flag to true, we initialize that, and then instead of doing the comparison here, we just say if true, the flag here, now we know is change the name to true. If the contents of this flag is true, then the whole of this will be executed. Now let's go ahead and run that code to see how it works. Okay. All right, so we paste it there, then we say if the word true, which is a Boolean, is assigned to the flag, then we come and say if this one now will be here. So we say if true equals to true. If true equals to true, we compare, then yes. If it's yes, then this will be executed. So we run it. Takes a little longer. Okay. Let's give it a few seconds here. Anyway, second, third. It's a bit good. Okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and start a new one. So this one doesn't bother us anymore. Okay, paste it there. Okay, so this will run, and this is the item we get because this is true. What if this is false? And then we compare. We probably will not get any output because this one will not compare with this one. These are two different words. Okay, and they're saying we really do not need to even put that. If we say this is true, it will just go ahead and say if the value true is assigned to the variable flag, then inside that flag is going to be the word true. So we say if true, then it's going to go ahead and print that. So we try that. It does it. Okay, that's one way of doing the condition statement. So we come back here and then we say in the above, okay, of course this one right here. Okay, by looking at the above code, which we just did, we now understand how the if statement works. The output of the condition will either be true or false. If the outcome of the condition is true, then the statement inside. If this is true, then the statement inside will immediately be executed. However, if the output of the condition is false, then the whole of this will be skipped. Okay? Now let's like we already did this, but we can go ahead and let's see how that works again. Okay, so we come here. If we did that, which we did, this is true, but if we did this, the print statement we're seeing over here is not going to work. So we run this one, and then it's going to skip the whole of that because because the condition is not met. But if we change that one, then this whole item here will be executed. Okay. So that's how it works. So we come back, and then we say, for the above code here, there will be no output because the outcome of the condition is false. So just remember, if this was true, immediately this will be executed. If this is false, this will not be executed. So we pass it. So the Python if example without a Boolean variable. Okay? In the above example, we have used the Boolean variable, which remember is actually a primitive data type. Okay. However, we can use any other variable in our condition. For example, the number equals to 300. If the number is less than 500, then the condition is true. What if the number is 300? And then we say if the number is less than 500, then it's true. But if the number is 3, let's say the number is 600. If this number is 300, then this condition is true. But if this number is 600, then this condition will be false. If it's false, then there's just no way we can execute this one. We will skip it. Okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. The number is 300. Yes, that's true. If the number 300 is definitely less than 500, then this will be executed. Okay. What if this number is 600? Then this condition will not be true, and therefore this will not be executed. It will skip it, and therefore here there will be no output. Let's see that. Exactly. Okay. So let's come back and then see. There's an else. That means if the condition is not met, and therefore we don't print it out, therefore we need to go to the alternative. The alternative will be using the else. Okay. If it rains today, for example, I'll wear my boots and use the umbrella. If it does not rain, then I'll do nothing. So the condition, if it's true, then I'll wear my overcoat, get into my boots because it's going to be wet, and then I'll carry the umbrella. If it's true. If it's not true, then I'll do nothing. I'll just wear my regular clothes. So if in the last section, we just learned how to use the if statement in Python. Now in this guide next year, we're going to learn the alternative of using the control statement if else. So here, we use if statements when we need to execute a certain block of code when a particular condition is true. We use if else statements are like the extension of the if statement. With the help of if else, we can execute certain conditions if the condition is true, and a different set of statements if the condition is false. For example, you want to print an even number. An even number we know is a number which is divisible by 2, and we remain with 0. If the number is even and an odd number is the number which is not even, which cannot be divided by 2. If we divide it by 2, then we have to remain with something. Say, for example, 12, we divide 12 by 2, it's going to be 6. We will not remain with anything. If we divide 13 by 2, we'll remain with 1. That means it's not an even number, it's going to be odd. So we can accomplish this with the help of an if statement. Now we say in Python, if the condition is true, then this will be executed. It's going to be true. Else, this will be executed. That means we cannot execute this and then execute the next one. We only execute this if it's true. Otherwise, we will execute this one. Okay. So here, okay, block 1, this one right here, will be executed if the given condition, this condition, is true. Otherwise, block 2, okay, block 2 will be executed if the condition is false. Okay, so come here, and then we say that right there. Okay. So if else flow control, example here will be, copy that, we bring it to a Colab, and then let's try running. Okay. So here, we go ahead and say 42. We assign to the number. And then we say if 42 in here is already 42. If 42 is modular, which means it's divisible by 2, and we remain with 0, which is going to be here, then we print this one. Otherwise, we print this one. It's either or, but not both. So if the number is 42, and that number we divide by 2, which is modular division, then we should be able to get a 0. Whatever is in here will be equals to 0. Therefore, if that's true, then we print that. If that's not true, then we go ahead and print this one. Okay, so let's run it. So it's an even number. How about this? Let's say 41. It's going to be an odd number. Okay. How about 50? It's an even number. How about 9? It's an odd number. Okay. So this program here is a very simple if condition with an else statement. If this, the if immediate line after the if will always be executed only if that condition is true. Otherwise, the else will be used, and that else will always be if this one is not true. Okay. So how about for an odd number, which we just did? So this, we can do another one here, and then we see how that works. So copy that. Okay. Then we print this one. Copy that. Paste it there. Say odd. Okay. You say the number is 33. Say if 33 is divisible by 2 and the remainder is not equals to 0. Whatever if we take 2, we put into 33, it's going to go there about 16 times, but will still remain with 1. Whatever that remainder is that 1 not equals to 0? Therefore, this statement will be true. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is counter. It's kind of like countering, like negating what we had up there, because we know very well that this number is not an even number. It's not. But the condition we give it makes it now, it wants to be treated like it's actually an even number, but 33 is not an even number. The reason why we're getting it even is because of this condition. And this one means it's not equal to. If we put this one as 32, let's see what happens. It's not going to be, the remainder is still saying it's not going to be 0, which is not true, because we know if we take 2, we divide by 32, we should have a 0. But it's telling us if that 0 is not equals to 0, then something else. So that 0 is not equals to 0. Let's see what happens. It's telling us odd number. So this is counter. It's basically an illustration of how you can twist things and make the program not to be. It's logically not correct, but syntactically it's correct. Okay. So we come over here, and then we run and say, in the previous section, we saw the if statement and the if else. In this section here now, we are going to learn about the if else or the if else statement. The if else statement is used when we need to check on multiple conditions, like a lot of conditions in one. Say, okay, say the age is 10, okay? Then we know that age is not enough. Then we check another thing. We say, okay, now, okay, that's good. Then let's go ahead and check, is she a girl or a boy? Okay, that's good. And then we check another condition. and then we say, are they in grade 10 or no? And then we check another condition. So that's where we will have like a combination of if, if statement used with multiple conditions. So we can say here, how do we check on multiple conditions? So remember this condition, if it's true, then this will be executed. Otherwise, that means if that is not executed, then we'll be looking for the next one. If that is not executed, then we look for the next one. And if that is not executed, then we look for the next one until everything goes through. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and conclude. So that means if this condition is true, then execute that. If this condition is true, let's say this could be the age and this could be, let's say, the gender. So we are looking for, let's say we are looking for at least 10 years old. And the gender, she needs to be a girl, okay? And she needs to be, let's say, in grade 10. And if that condition, we check on the age, we don't find that, we go check on the next one, the gender. If it's not found, then we check on the third one. If the third one is found, then we execute that. That means all these conditions will be for different criteria. Okay, so the girl, the age, okay, I'm sorry, the age, the gender, and the grade. And if all is not found, then that means we are going to go ahead and surrender. So we use the else statement here. Okay, so as you can see, there can be multiple elif, like you see here, multiple elif blocks. However, there is only one else, this one, only one allowed. Out of these blocks, okay, only one code block. Out of all this, only one code block gets to be executed. And that if only the condition is true. Then the code inside the if gets executed. If the condition is false, then the next condition associated with the elif is evaluated, and so on until we reach the last point. If none of the conditions are true, if none of those are true, then the code inside the elif gets executed. So if all those above, if all this above here are not meeting the condition, then we'll go ahead and fall back to the last one. So Python elif else statement example, okay? In this example, we're checking for multiple conditions using the elif else statement. So here, okay, let's go ahead and copy this. So I run it, but I'll explain before I run. Okay. So we have this one right here. Say the number 1, 1, 2, 2. That's a number. We put it in the number variable, and then we say if 9 is less than 1, 1, 2, 2, and also less than 99, then we print this one. But you and me, we know very well that 1122 is not less than 9 and is not less than 99. Therefore, this condition here is false. We're going to go ahead and skip it. We go to the next condition and say, if, that means if 99 is less than 1122 and also less than 999, then this condition is going to be executed. But we know that's not going to be true. Therefore, we go to the next one. Go ahead and say, if 999, okay, is less than 1122, which we know is true, and 1122 is also less than 999, which is also true. Therefore, this will be executed. Otherwise, if all these fail, then we'll go ahead and fall back to this one. So let's go ahead and run this program. I can tell you this will be executed, but we're going to put different iteration, so like we test everything. So let's go ahead and run it. So we know this number is true. So it's almost like a game. Okay, and then let's go ahead and see, how about 10? Let's look for a number between, let's try to make this to execute. So we look for a number between 99. Okay, if a number is less than 99, okay, let's say this number is actually 8. So we can make this, okay, it's not gonna work because we need at least, but let's see what it does. If number is 8, if 9 is less than, then it's not gonna work. Let's see. So it's gonna go fall back to this one because all the conditions have failed, and therefore it's falling back to here. But if the number, we know the number, if 9 is less than the number, so we need the number to be between 9 and 99. And therefore, let's give it 50. See what it does. 2 digits, at least we need 2 digits for it to succeed. So the 2-digit number is, okay. And what if the number is between 99 and 999? So let's give it 500. This is going to be 3-digit number. Okay. And then that continues in that sequence. Okay. So we come back here. And of course, we got the output. So that's good. So Python nested if statement. Now, like we just said, or we just saw, we covered the if statement, if else statement, and the if if statement in the tutorial there. We will now learn the nesting of these control statements. Now, when there is an if statement, or if else, or if else is present inside another if statement, or if else, or if else, then we call this a nested control statement. Now here, okay, this is a nested if else. Below here, okay, we have an if statement inside another if statement block. So we nested them. Okay. So let's go ahead and see this. So we take 99, which is negative, and then we say if the number is greater than 0. So we know negative 99 is definitely greater than 0. I mean less than 0. So we know this number is not meeting this condition, and therefore this will not be printed. Okay. Otherwise, that means else, the negative number will be printed because this is a negative number. So if negative 99 is less than 0, or negative 99 is less than or equals to that number, then the condition will be met. So let me go ahead and show you this. Okay. Yes.
I'll be dropping off. Like I really have to go now.
Okay. Oh, okay. You just want to go right now, immediately?
Can you give it like a few more minutes?
Okay. I mean, feel free to drop anytime. That's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let me go. Let me go ahead and run, and then explain this one. Then you can drop it. Is everything okay?
Okay. Yeah,
Everything's fine, right?
it's just been hectic. Everything is okay. I was just gonna go back to the hospital.
Oh, okay. I totally understand that. And we pray for your mom to get well.
She's doing much better than yesterday.
Okay, that's good. All right. So here you can run this, and then you get a negative number. If we did something else, it's gonna be giving a positive number. So this is a 2-digit positive number. So basically that's just the way it goes. So it's pretty straightforward, but it can be very confusing sometimes if you don't get the stuff right in. It can be very convoluted for a beginner. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here so I don't continue, but I'll share with you the recording. Okay. Let us know how your
Okay.
mom is doing.
And also the tutorial, you're gonna send that to me too?
For this, yeah, I'll send you, and it's already
Yeah.
actually in your Google, but I'll still send it to you so
Oh, okay. Okay.
you can get access to it.
Okay, I'll look it up.
All right. Thank you.
All
Oh,
right.
all right. No problem. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Esther, you there? You still there?